Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are in a new episode of KubeCast. This time we have a very special guest coming to the show that is willing to talk about crypto, about what he does, who is he, and to talk about everything related to this magnificent world. So for starters, we have today with us Charlie, as known as Damon. Sorry. Can you do a little presentation about who you are, what are you doing, and just let the users that maybe don't know you, we don't know yet, what is exactly that you do and what are you doing here, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Damon. I am the CMO and co-founder of Charli3 Oracles. We're a decentralized Oracle solution for Cardano. For those of you who aren't sure what an Oracle is, you might be familiar with Chainlink. They're the largest Oracle solution for crypto at the moment, but the difference with our solution is it's built completely for Cardano, native to Plutus and Haskell code. And what an Oracle does is able to use real world data like weather, stocks, other crypto prices, and be able to give that to other projects on chain so they can use it for their processes. And most projects end up using some sort of an Oracle feed for their trading and their front-end users. So oracles are pretty important within crypto.
I think that was a great start. I would like to know, how did you end in the business and why in Oracle? Did you study something and then you find your interest, let's say, in oracles, or you just, let's say, started investigating a little bit more?
Mostly just a starting thing. How I got here is very unconventional, I'll say. My entire educational background is in medical sciences. So I was in nursing before I got into crypto. And I was a biomechanist, sports scientist before that. So how I got into this was studying investments and studying crypto and seeing that Cardano kind of was, a new and emerging thing. And I thought, okay, well, if I want to try and start a project in this, what is the most needed stuff? Because there's so many projects that just die off, there's too much competition or anything like that. And I thought, okay, well, oracles are one of the things that almost everybody needs, but the other problem is they're extra complex to try and manage. So I don't know, I just did my best to find the right kind of people. Accidentally got in touch with some of the right type of people a lot earlier than I ever expected, and we just kind of hit it off running. I got some great opportunities from the guys at Starter to put me in touch with the right people, and then here we are with trying to build this Oracle solution out. But it's taking a while. Cardano's not an easy beast to tame.
It is not, but it's great to be there, let's say. What we say here, it's like they work a lot, they work with small steps, but making sure that every step is correct. Let's say that every step is perfect. So we are sure that every move we are doing, we are not having any problems. So I can support that. I think, I always think a lot of things and I always try to do a lot of things, but it's cool to have somebody that is working through perfection in all the path, in all the way. So I would like to ask you, do you have any projects in mind, any upcoming projects that could be interesting to share with our followers, with all the people that is watching this podcast right now?
Yeah, I mean, upcoming projects that I'm excited about, I would say MinSwap decks. I'm really excited about them coming up and being able to list. The more dexes we have to try and figure out those complications on chain are really exciting. Right now we've got Sunday and ADAX that have launched, and obviously they're figuring out their problems, but I think MinSwap will be the next good big one to come out. I know Photochromic is a biometric KYC thing, doing it with NFTs. That they just minted their Photosapiens launch, which is their again biometric KYC through NFTs, and they are now launching on Huobi exchange, which is exciting because they've been waiting for months to be able to do that. And our favorite wallet, personally, from the Charli3 side, is Giro Wallet. Now, I say this as like they've already launched just like ourselves, but we both are moving our tokens over to Cardano native token, hopefully starting next week. So really excited to have that like kind of relaunch type vibe within the Cardano community.
So in this case, in all three projects, to just follow with the introduction about who you are and what exactly do you do. what is your function on this project? I mean, we're using with oracles and everything, but if, for example, in something like MintSwap or Giro Wallet, what is exactly your function? How do you help them achieve what they want?
Well, I mean, I don't have a function in those projects. You just asked if there was anything exciting coming up. So, our function within Giro is helping them with their continuing prices. Obviously, with MinSwap, we don't actually have any introduction or like integration with them at
Okay.
all. If you're asking about projects that we have really good integrations with, that I'm excited about, I would say anything that's gaming that's coming up, like
Okay.
Cornucopias, the metaverse open world gaming project. Really excited about our work with them that we'll be doing whenever they're kind of ready, because there's so many different elements you can do with gamification with oracles. So you can just have our price, the like crypto prices and other stock prices, whatever, around the world displayed on billboards for players to see within the world. You can add in oracle data for weather to affect, like, if you're doing farming or racing or anything, to affect the world around you, depending on what's actually happening in the real world. You can have the proper payouts to people that are doing gambling and different type of
Yeah.
games within those areas, and that all comes from oracles. Even NFTs having that randomness generation and verifiable randomness for anything that's gambling related, for another project like Redodo, which is an online gaming and gambling platform that we'll be working with. Like those are really solid ones that I think take oracle use to the next level. Another thing we're excited about is working with an NFT project called the Clumsy Ghosts, where we're trying to look into how to integrate oracle data into NFTs to have the first like user case, like, of having oracle data, because generally we're
Okay.
just supplying data to large projects, right, to
Yeah.
use for their bases. But this would actually bring oracle data into the hands of the general consumer, and that's pretty exciting.
It is. I was just thinking about all the projects that you were saying right now. Maybe in the future, I cannot tell right now. You and I think we spoke a lot about if we're going to work together in the future. You talk, I
Yeah,
think, a little bit with Daniel, that is our lead developer for the project. So
yeah.
maybe in the future we will find a possibility to integrate the technology to our project. We have a lot of projects coming soon.
Yeah.
So
With
probably we'll
with all
have
your
more than
travel
one
stuff,
talk about
definitely,
it.
man.
So that's great to know. I would like to know, completely apart from what we are talking right now, when did you start investing in cryptocurrencies, or when your interest started? Because you start with medical, you said, and then you change it to complete another industry, that is in this case
Yeah,
cryptocurrencies,
completely
because you were
changed.
interested. So
Uh,
when did everything start?
yeah, I mean, interest in crypto probably started in like 2017, 2018, kind of the
Okay.
end of the last bull run, but
Yeah.
I didn't get involved at all, so I didn't get involved in crypto until this time last year. So I've only been in crypto for about a year. And I just moved really fast and did a lot of research. So one thing people say, how can you get to the level you're at within the year? And really, I just took my skills as a professional student and professional medical type person to use my communication really well to meet the right type of people and network properly, because you do a lot of communications within medical and sports fields. So I use
Yeah.
that. And then just the ability to know how to research and critically analyze almost everything I'm looking at and understand where the trends are moving, and not get too emotional. So I went really, really hard at it because I wanted to change in my life, and I was, studying like 12 to 13 hours a day of just crypto from the
Wow.
beginning for the first few months, and I'm
That's a lot of
still
time.
learning every day.
That's a lot of time dedicated in this case to crypto. But I'm
Yeah.
happy you made, let's say, the change. And I would like to ask you something, but sometimes do you regret changing from the medical industry to just the crypto industry? Would you like to come back to your medical background, let's say?
Well, that's a good question. I do think about it all the time because I never fully, like, I didn't do it for very long, I'll say, like, as a professional. And I did absolutely love that knowledge base, the hard sciences, and
Yeah.
especially anatomical and physiological and pharmacological studies were extremely interesting to me. But I never felt like I had freedom in those areas to do what
Okay.
I wanted to. and this is much better. So yeah, I do miss it sometimes, but I don't regret changing everything to be where I'm at now, because now I can go places, I can work wherever. If I want to move, I can. I don't have to worry about my job and everything. The only extra frustrating thing is taxes. So
Yeah.
I'm afraid of doing that now with crypto.
If I may ask, where are you now? Because you say you are
Uh,
traveling a
yeah,
lot. So where are you now?
I finally got back home. I've been away for 3 months
Okay.
ish, and I'm back in my hometown of Saskatoon, in Canada. It's kind of mid
Okay.
central western that nobody knows about. But prior to this and traveling, I was going to meet a lot of team members from Charli3 and another project I'm heading up, and around Europe and the US. And I think that it's really important to get that face to face element, because we miss that in
Yeah.
now that we're all on a computer. So
I would like to ask you
yeah,
now, well, let's say from 3 weeks or not, let's say more time, the markets has gone, everything is crazy right now. We saw Bitcoin, Cardano, all the top ones, let's say,
yeah,
fluctuating a lot. We see every day a lot of the price changes.
hmm
Cardano went back to less than $1. Now it's back to more than $1. So it's just, I think it's crazy. And I would like to ask you, when do you think? I know that you are not, you cannot see the future, but
I'll
when do you
see.
think that these changes are gonna end, and why do you think they are gonna end?
Yeah, I mean that's a great question. Right now, I mean, inflation is rising like crazy. I think it's at
Yeah,
a global 40-year high. So it seems like a bubble somehow is about to pop, but everything also seems to be stabilized. I mean, there's a lot of, especially in the US and Canada, I'm not sure about other countries, but stimulus checks and stuff have kind of stopped being given out. So that was funding a lot of the crypto economy as well over the last year and a half. And now interest rates are increasing heavily, especially in the US. So that's going to put a damper on things as well. There's less and less money that people are allowed in their daily lives to spend on investments. And I think it'll shake up your emotions as well. Like, oh, maybe I have this much, and can I even afford to give this if my prices are, and everything is going to rise in the future? And by prices, I mean like expenses in your regular life. I mean, people
yeah,
might start holding their normal money a little bit more. But at the same time, massive adoption in different ways. A large accounting firm up here, KPMG, just started investing in crypto. Uh, a lot of higher level banks are starting to do it. I mean, you see the stuff that Crypto.com has been doing by buying the Staples Center and their thing with Matt Damon, and now a Twitch Rivals competition sponsored by Crypto.com. I mean, it's everywhere.
yeah.
So
It is.
maybe the people that are in it have a little less money, but there's so many more people coming in that I think it boosts it, and there's so much more real fi coming in that I don't feel like, personally, I don't feel like it'll drop more than this. However, I do feel like where we're at could be a plateau until everything else kind of gets settled out, like somewhere between the 35 to 45 range of BTC, just
Yeah.
sitting in there for a long time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I completely agree with you. We're seeing like everything is changing now. I think we're in some kind of bubble too, because yeah, we are talking about the states, but we can talk about Europe, Canada, etc. But prices are going higher. The interest, everything. So now people keep investing. That's quite a good sign. Let's say people keep investing in cryptocurrencies and they keep believing in this. Then we see a lot of competitions in video games and a lot of things, as you said,
Yeah.
inclusive football teams and etc. They are letting advertisers that are related to crypto advertise their products during their matches and everything.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
I
big.
think it was 10 days ago, Binance announced that they are entering to Spain. So
Not
let's say
really.
that now everything is going quite crazy. But I just wanted to know your opinion on these terms. And following my first question, I would say, in a scale of 0 to 100, on what part, let's say, do you think that we're in the adoption of cryptocurrencies right now?
Oh goodness, scale of 1 to 100, adoption of crypto, like worldwide, you mean? Oh,
Yeah.
I would say we're at like a 10, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's still extremely early, and most of the stuff you see around right now in crypto will not exist in a few years. It'll be completely new stuff. You know, whatever you think are the big coins now probably won't be in a while. There's so many more new emerging technologies and use cases for crypto that whatever projects are stuck in just crypto land are not going to fly anymore. I mean, there's going to be so many more uh, regular type businesses and companies in the real world using crypto tech. Like, not every business that uses crypto has to have a coin. I mean, this is a
Yeah, of
total
course.
misconception. There's just going to be so much more real world stuff using crypto as payment or using blockchain tech to do their transactions across the world. So I think that, yeah, we're on a super low level of understanding and adoption of crypto in the world. Like, yeah, maybe a 10.
Yeah, I particularly agree with you, and I think that's cool to be in a lower percentage, because let's say now we are early adopters of this new technology, this blockchain and everything. So it's quite cool to see, let's say, your baby grow. So in
Yeah.
this case, we started from 0 to 5% when you started investing in crypto, and we're going to see all the roadmap, all the track of cryptocurrencies, of blockchain, how is everything going to grow. It's like seeing internet from 0 to 100, let's say. So now we're
Yeah.
going to see the same, but in this case with blockchain, I think it's really cool to see this and to be able to, apart from seeing, to work on it, because in your case you're with Charlie and I'm working on KubeCoin, so we are
Yeah.
participating, let's say, on this change, and it's quite cool to be there. You're learning a lot. You're meeting new people that, like you and I are doing right now.
Yeah.
We haven't met yet in
Absolutely.
person, maybe in the future, but we talk about crypto. We are doing this podcast now, so it's quite cool to meet new people regards all the crypto industry, everything. And
Mhm.
I think that working from 0 to 100 is a really cool roadmap that we're doing right now, and I'm very proud to be on this train, let's say.
Yeah, it's pretty wicked to be involved with it this early. Yeah, I think like it's kind of a pioneering thing. It's like the '90s
Yeah,
.com
true.
boom. You know?
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty neat.
I have one last question before we move to the Q&A. I would like
Wow.
to ask you. It's a personal question. You can ask, you can not, but you can give me
Yeah, all good.
some opinions. I would like to know. I don't need to know the numbers, but tell me your five top coins on your portfolio.
5 top coins. Well, my portfolio got
Yeah,
shaken
from
up
most
a lot.
investment to less investment, let's say. But you don't need to
Yeah.
tell me a number. I just want to know your portfolio.
Yeah, I can give the top 5 that I have put money into, not the current ones that are actually really good. So a lot of my investments have come from, luckily, early seed stage stuff, just from the people that I've met. So Cornucopias, a project I've mentioned already, was one of them. So I have, a fair amount in that right now because I was able to get in seed, but I'm buying up land and everything in that game. So, like, as far as bullishness goes, huge on that one. Card Starter was another one I was really into. They helped us launch back last year. Unfortunately, there's some controversy now between them and Sunday. So
Okay.
obviously that's price impacted quite a lot. Um, let's see, but I still hold a fair amount of that. Giro Wallet is another one I'm very bullish on, and I think there's another project I just mentioned before, Photochromic. Now they haven't
Yeah.
technically launched yet, so that's not in my portfolio, but I was an early investor in them, so I do have that coming, and I'm very excited about their project. So yeah, I don't have a lot that I just go with that, but my top coin that I would say that I'm most bullish on outside of Cardano, obviously, is Phantom. Like, as far as top safer plays go,
Okay.
I absolutely love Phantom because it's really, I guess, innovative in its approach to trying to connect itself to the real world and away from crypto, right? So
Okay.
its price stays far more stable and it's connected to gaming, and I love gaming, so I gotta go with that.
Okay. I don't know if you invested or not in the pre-sale of KubeCoin, obviously, But
Yeah.
soon we will announce the ACO, so I recommend you just check it out. Let me know your thoughts about it, because soon we will announce it, and I think our audience is really looking forward to know when the ICO is gonna be. So we are not going to announce it now or today because it's not the moment yet.
Yeah.
But
Not ready yet.
hopefully you will see it and you will be part of it. So now,
Yeah.
do you have any questions that you would like to discuss or to ask before we move to the Q&A of our users?
No, I think getting right to the community is a great time. I love talking to those guys.
Perfect. So I'm gonna just check with my phone. I'm gonna open everything.
Sure.
Well, there's people asking about who you are and everything, but we already discussed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Charlie, well, in this case, Damon is working for Charlie, all related to oracles and integration in this case with with projects and everything. And I have some questions that they sent to us. They were asking how do we see that Cardano is going to perform in the next weeks? We talked something related about that. How do you think that Cardano is going to perform on summer? So I would like to ask you, how do you think that since the launch of the smart contracts about Cardano, how do you think that they are going to perform now? Because there are a lot of projects. We are one of them. We're all with the smart contracts too. But we haven't had any special launch since the smart contract. So how do you think everything is going to be this summer, September, or this year with Cardano and the smart contract, etc.?
Yeah, I mean it's always hard to tell. I mean this is especially hard with Cardano because it's a brand new coding language, right? For people that don't know, Plutus is the derivative language of Haskell. It's an old code base, but it's extremely well refined and it's not been used in crypto and blockchain before. So that's why Cardano is seemingly lagging behind other things, but it's far more secure and fast if we can get it working. Where do I see it in the coming weeks? Oh, I mean, really not much different, but I know the Babbage hard fork is coming up to introduce different scalability factors. Ourselves and the other members of the Cardano DeFi Alliance are working on SIPs 31, 32, 33, which again is for scalability purposes and PAB functionality. Working on things like Hydra and ZK rollups, again for scalability, all to manage this. And there's already projects starting to launch, like Sunday and, like I said, 8x already, and a couple of other smaller things. And we're getting there. And from our conversations with IOG/IOHK and Charles, is that we're looking at I would say a decent base level of starting functionality by the end/mid Q2, which to us from a development standpoint is actually really exciting. Even though it seems like a really long time, it's just given the problems that there has been so far with Cardano, it's moving up there for sure. By the summer, who's to say, really? I would just hope that we can see a few more projects getting on chain and actually starting their integrations. I mean, something people don't really realize is that I think Cardano has this FUD against it because of how popular it is. But other chains like Solana took over a year from their initial smart contract initiation to actually get up and running. Same thing with Avalanche, right? For Cardano, it's only been 7 months at this point, and it's a completely brand new coding language. So I mean, give it a break.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see in the next month. As you said, everything, we're on 7 months, so I think that with all the news coming soon, project, etc., we're gonna be on track. Let's say in the form, we're gonna be in track. So I'm not worried at all, and I'm happy that how everything is performing. So answering the question, I think you really answered perfectly the question of our follower. So now I have other questions. Let's say, will there be a collaboration between your two projects? Okay, we already answered this one. Maybe,
hopefully.
Probably we will have some connections. He already talked with our lead developer. He talked with me. So maybe in the future, because we are developing 7 projects in our ecosystem, so probably we are going to have a collaboration to work something really cool. So in this case, probably in the future,
we can definitely find some integration models. I mean, between your pricing stuff and flight prices around the world and just general even the hotel stuff and
Yeah.
anything that you're looking at for travel or average food and weather and all this kind of stuff can definitely
We
play
have some
into some
ideas.
sort of model.
We have some ideas yet, so we probably talk soon. Well, you
Yeah.
will probably talk with Daniel because it's more of a tech conversation, let's say.
Yeah.
But we will probably talk soon about it because we have some ideas that we can develop
Yeah.
and maybe we can do it together. So,
Absolutely.
well, I have the same question from Milton. Do you see KubeCon and Charli partnering in the future? And if there is any way that you can do a partnership or that you can fit in the KubeCoin project. So they are trying to hire you for our project, as I see.
Oh, perfect. I'll be an advisor.
Maybe you will have a
Bring me on
second
as
job or
advisor,
a new
I'll do
job.
Yeah.
And there we have another question is saying, is there any advice or recommendations you will give to the Cube team regarding having a smooth launch? Well, you can give some
Oh.
recommendations already. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I have. I talk to a lot of people about that kind of stuff. I advise a lot of projects. Smooth launch, man. Make sure you got your community covered, and there's FAQs, like frequently asked questions, like a list of that stuff that you've compiled before you get up close to a launch, because man, just a sheer amount of time and effort it takes to give those same answers over and over and over and over again, instead of just having a link to a document is insane, so I always say do that, and make sure you have plenty of marketing around it, just so people actually, again, it's all about education, understand what they're investing in, and understand what the potential risks are and who the team is behind what you're doing.
Reports on that part.
I think that those are the biggest things. The more you educate, the less energy everybody has to use, because
Correct.
you already have that information.
Correct. We always say that we're going to give as much as information as we can, but obviously every user has to do their own research. So in this
Yeah.
case, I always do my own research when I look for new projects. I see who the team is, what they have done, what they're doing, where they're
Yeah.
based. I look at a lot of things before I invest in a project. So we always say, people something say, why should they invest in you, who you are? We always have our answers, but we always say, do your own research. We are not telling you to invest, obviously, in KubeCoin. We would love to have you in our community. We would love to have you in our holders, let's say, but we are not going to obligate you in this case to invest in our project. You have to believe in it, and we'll do our
Yeah.
best to make you believe. But in this
Yeah.
case, we recommend always do your own research, because we are not here trying to sell you anything. We're just
Yeah.
presenting our project, let's say, and if you're interested, we're more than happy to have you on the community, on the team, wherever we want to say.
Yeah. I mean, I initially found KubeCoin because of my own research into things that were doing RealFi. And I went, oh, this is a great project. And then I slept through the pre-sale. So, but I did get some of my team, like I shared it around to some other
Yeah.
people in my team, and I know that they bought in and they were excited about it. And I think that was the
So
day.
now
that
you
I
have
was
the
just-
ACO. The ACO is your moment to
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
part of the community in this case.
Yeah, I think what you guys have going on is actually a really great function. I mean, it's something that everybody uses. So, yeah, absolutely.
Then we have another question saying, what are your thoughts on KubeCoin as a project and the future of it? Let's say the future of KubeCoin regarding in the say travel and leisure, or how it's gonna everything perform in the future. I think it's how I understand this question.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of what I just said. Everybody
you
kind
just said
of
that.
wants to do travel, right? Everybody likes traveling. Everybody wants to see the best deals. When you're traveling abroad, I mean, like I said, I was just around in Europe and the US, and you're constantly having to change different, currencies and understand
Correct.
where you're going, and different flight things and different hotel things, and trying to figure out all these things and the right deal, especially for people that are new to traveling, and they want to try and find the best things and understand how it all works. I mean, there's no well, I hate using the word centralized, but in this case it works. There's no centralized hub of like all of that information. You usually have to find like 5 or 6 different things, and I think using blockchain tech the way that KubeCoin is planning to just make that a lot faster, and the ease
Yeah.
of adoption for travel function a lot better. So yeah, that's where I see it, and I really like where the project's going, and I plan to use your functions when they get going, because I like to travel. So
Yeah, I think that everybody loves to travel. That's why we're in the industry. everybody in our team loves to travel, so here we are developing
Yeah,
this project.
exactly.
So, yeah, I just closed the Q&A. Thank you for being today with us. It was cool to tell you about who you are, first of all, obviously, talking about Cardano, upcoming projects, how is the crypto market going, your portfolio, obviously, and some
Yeah.
Q&A. So thanks for being with us today. Hopefully we'll talk in the future to do another KubeCast, we don't know, or maybe to, as we said, to do a collaboration between the two projects. So would you like to
Absolutely.
say something as your final statement?
Yeah, I would like to say that this was probably one of the best interview type things I've done so far ever, and I've done quite a lot of them. So awesome! And last thing is we're launching. We just announced the launch of an NFT project that will have hopefully have staking attached to these NFTs within a few weeks. Once we transfer to our Cardano native token, we're working
Sounds
with a
great.
couple of people for doing staking with that, and we're really excited for the future of that, and also for anyone who's wondering, where are our oracles? Are they being used? Well, no, because there's no projects on chain that actually need them yet. But we actually can run a 3-point aggregated oracle model right now. So whenever people are ready, we can. And we also just won our Catalyst funding for providing free price feeds to new projects that are a little bit cash strapped. So we're really helping the community out that way. And thank you to all the Catalyst voters out there that provided us the opportunity to help out the community.
Perfect, sounds great. Then, thank you again for being with us today. Now we're gonna close the live, the KubeCast. So thank you
Perfect.
guys for being with us today, and hopefully we'll see you next week with another guest coming to the show that we will announce soon. So thank you everybody for your questions, for being today with us, and see you in the next podcast.